me take my pretext off of here. Hopefully you all are saying hi in the chat window. And hey Carolyn, hey. Yeah, if you guys, when I'm responding, by the way, to whatever you're typing in here, it doesn't necessarily, I have it so that it's not necessarily showing your real names. It's just showing whatever your screen name is. So some of them it's hard to read a screen name. Like Fausto, I can tell, but Spats, I know that's Mark, right? But yeah, it's so funny trying to read these and translate what they're supposed to say when I'm responding to you guys. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started and do my little video. Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Laura Rogers and this is SharePoint Power Hour. This is my weekly show that I do Wednesdays at 11 Central, where I demo things in SharePoint and Office 365, and it's out of the box. I'm not a programmer. We just kind of sometimes just figure things out as we go, and we have a lively chat. So I have a Slack channel. It's iwmentor.slack.com, and it's in the description of this YouTube video. You can go straight to it from there, and if you've never joined it, there is a link to a form to fill out to be able to, for me to invite you to join the Slack channel. And that's where you can go and chat and ask questions, and we figure things out as we go during Power Hour. It's a lot of fun. So welcome everybody. Today's topics, I've got my little chalkboard here. And we're going to talk about Office 365, Delve, About Me, My Analytics, and some of the admin settings around some of this stuff. And I have a demo environment that I'm using on one of those. If you're a Microsoft partner, you can go to demos.microsoft.com, spin up a little fake demo tenant for yourself, and it's got all these fake users in there, a bunch of documents, and even a bunch of emails already in there, and conversations, website, SharePoint sites, and fun stuff like that. So I'm going to use one of those to do the demo. So since there'll be a lot of just nice fake content, I don't have to show my actual real content. All right, let me see. I'll go ahead and go share my screen. Oops, there we go. Okay. Get myself situated here. And here we go. Okay, if you could see my screen now, I'm logged in as this fake user in this fake tenant, and like last week, so this has been days and days. Last week I went in here and edited the profile and changed the name to Laura Rogers, and actually changed the image too. But it's really weird because in Office 365 you see this image of the fake user Alex still there in some places, and you see my face in there some places. So it hasn't quite proliferated out to wherever it's supposed to be. All right, so what is Delve? So right here, I started from Office 365. I started from the SharePoint page here. So this is just the SharePoint homepage, which is a really good homepage to be on in Office 365. It's just going to show the currently logged in user, just the frequent SharePoint sites they go to, SharePoint sites they're following, and it's even going to recommend some to them, suggested down here. So that's where I'm starting off in this demo. To get to Delve, I can go here. If I don't see it here in my waffle menu, let me scroll down a little. If I don't see it here in my waffle menu, I can go to all, and I'll be able to scroll down and see it there. I can also pin it. So I pinned it up here as well. So I can do this pinning with any of my different places in here that I want to go in Office 365. And of course it gives me an error. There we go. Okay, so do you guys use Delve? That's the first question. Delve is one of those things that, I'm not sure, because people just want to go in SharePoint. They just think about typical end users. They just want to go work and do their job and get stuff done and Delve's just maybe this extra place to go that they might necessarily know to go to or why they would want to go to it. So what is Delve? It is really it's search results. It's all based on those search analytics. Again, I mentioned this before, there's a lot of math going on behind the scenes when with the search engine in SharePoint. And it's not just keeping track of what people are searching for. The search engine is constantly indexing all of your content and people, every single word in every single file, all your sites, all your library names, everything. So the search engine has this index of all this content, and it has math going on, knowing what people are clicking on and what popular content is. So Delve is really a page of search results. So, we've talked in PowerOwl before about the content search web part and how you can make it show different specific things and like popular content, recently edited content, and just kind of roll it up from all over SharePoint, and it's really based on search results. Well, Delve is really, that's the popular documents search results. It just looks like, it looks a lot nicer, and it's got a couple of extra features in it. So popular documents. So it's going to show me these nice pretty tiles of all the popular documents first. And when I see a popular document that I like, I can go do this little bookmark icon and add it to my favorites if I want to. And I can also do this little boards thing. What are boards? So boards are like tagging. And I can, if I want to, I can sit here and start categorizing things and categorize all these little items that I see on my, all the tiles that I see here. So, for example, I can say this one's in a legal site. So maybe I want to go add it to a board called legal. I can go mergers. So it's just, you're basically giving it some keywords, and then when I go to that board, then it's going to show me all the things that have been basically pinned to that board. So I've got like this one, I can call it Litware. Does anybody do this? I haven't found that typical end users are going to just take the time to sit there and just tag things if they don't have to. So usually I'm going to be basing things that I'm doing in SharePoint off things just automatically happening and tagging and categorization automatically happening, and not necessarily rely on end users to do this, but you can do it if you want to. So I can do some further things in here. I can quickly send a link to this file to someone, and it's going to go try and directly open Outlook, which I don't feel like doing right now. And then I can also copy the link, which is really useful. It's just going to copy it to my clipboard. I like this a lot. Why don't they just have this in document libraries, right? Document libraries, you do this whole get a link, and then you have to pick what kind of sharing link it is, and it's kind of confusing, and it gives you this big long cryptic thing. Well, when you're looking at Delve and you just click copy link, it just copies it to your clipboard, and then you're done, right? It seems pretty simple. So I kind of wish that just files and libraries had that. So I just pasted the contents of my clipboard into Notepad, and it's just a direct link to the file. And it's just this web equals 1 is basically going to force it. When somebody clicks on this, it's going to force it to open it in the browser. So if you didn't want to open it in the browser, you could actually edit that and just make it go straight to the file. Awesome. All right. Linking straight to files. What a concept. Okay, so those are my popular items, and it shows me what site that it's on, and I can actually go click on that site and it'll bring it up in a new tab. So I'm actually on a different site now. And then I've also got the ability to see how many people have been looking at it. So, why is it popular? So it's got all these popular documents here just showing, and I can just keep scrolling and it will just keep showing me more popular documents as I go. And when there are images in them, of course, it shows them in their little tile here, and it shows me what kind of file it is. All right. I can also go, so that's the first thing that you see in Delve. And so that's your home in Delve. When I go to me, we're just going to kind of go through this in organized fashion. There's my lovely photo. Isn't that nice? This is funny. So end users can go edit their information. So I can click to update my profile or update my photo. It's all pretty much going to take me to the same place. I go update my profile, and you can see that it's got, now you might remember this being some of the stuff you did in the My Site with your edit profile button in previous versions of SharePoint. It's all the exact same concepts in here. But look how nice, they've actually made this modern. They made this so that it is not that sort of old school look that the About Me and profile stuff still had, right? So this has just happened in the past month or two, actually. I can go add my birthday. My birthday is June 7th. And, oh, and when I added my birthday, let me go, I'm just make up a phone number. All right, and then I can see this little global thing. That means everybody can see it. And then when I add a home phone, ooh, it lets me choose. So this is that old user profile thing where you could pick like my work group and me and my manager and stuff like that, except it's all completely modernized and it looks nicer and it's pretty and it makes sense. So when you add some of these things, end users can pick. And just like previously, those are all properties that are stored in the user profile that get synced over from Active Directory. And as an admin, you can control which of these profiles, properties that end users can edit and which ones they can't, stuff like that. So like this one for home phone, they can actually pick what they can, you know, who they want to see it. But with the mobile phone, it didn't have that choice. Notice, you guys might have noticed something in the previous About Me box. You actually had rich text, and you could put code and images and different stuff like that. You could actually make it. You had remember the toolbar, the ribbon actually popped up, and it had a whole rich tool set of what you could do when you're editing your About Me, right? Thanks, Jonathan. And then here are some projects that I've worked on. Again, just like same concept as before. I'll go add a project. So I'll say north wind, south wind, Contoso. And I just added one. Okay. And again, some of these same concepts. This is still using manage metadata behind the scenes, I hope. Let's see, SharePoint, Office 365. We can go double check this though. We can actually go into admin in a minute and go double check some of this to make sure that behind the scenes it's still using manage metadata, right? Okay, schools. I went to LSU. Yay, go Tigers. All right. And again, so that's just the person's profile, just like it's always been. And there isn't really a save button, and you're noticing that? So it's just saving them as you go, which is nice. That's what a lot of the new modern stuff does. I can change my cover photo, which has got this nice little look. I can pick urban, nature, landscapes, and stuff like that, and change this little scenery behind my face here. And again, that just like everything else, it just sort of automatically changes. Now, what happens when I click to update my photo? Yes, right, Mark. Yes, that's something you can do in user profile configuration. Like I mentioned, over in the user profile service, you can configure not only which properties show on people's profiles, but which ones end users can edit or not edit, and which ones are getting pushed over, synced over from Active Directory. I use the word synced, but it's not really synced, it's pushed. Now look at this. When I click to go edit my photo, now look, it's back on that old school thing. They thought they buried it and it was hidden and it wasn't visible anymore. When you edit your picture, it's taking you to that same old school look, but it's the same, see, it's the same stuff. See, this is what I was just talking about with formatting your formatting the text for your About Me. So apparently, if you want to edit your text for About Me and make it nicer looking and give it colors and bolds and stuff, you can still do it if you go to this little hidden page just by clicking to update your profile photo. So apparently the profile photo part is still kind of, maybe it's in the works. Maybe they're still working on that one. All right. You can tell that I uploaded my photo. It clearly has not gone everywhere, even though I didn't, like I said, I did this last week. It has not gone everywhere in Office 365 yet. And this is the old school kind of newsfeed and About Me and all that stuff that is pretty much being phased out. All right, my changes have been saved. Now, let's go back over here. So now, so we're not going to get too off of, kind of where we started. So we started by going to Delve. So now I'm back on Delve. And the next thing after you do your, you look at your Me information, you have not only your profile, but you have all of your recent documents here. And others will only see documents they have access to. Do you guys find in organizations or your company or companies that are customers of yours, do you find that people, when they see Delve, that they kind of freak out because they see Delve and they think that what they see is exactly what everybody sees on Delve? It says it at the top of the screen, and it says, these are only, catered to you. Basically, these are, don't worry, everybody else can't see this, like this message you see on my screen right here. But people still freak out. They freak out, and then so many people freak out that so many companies have just had to turn off Delve because it's just confusing to people, and they don't realize why they're seeing this big list of all their own documents, and they think everybody can see it. Do you guys find that that's still happening, or are you guys educating the end users on that stuff? All right, so you see your recent documents. You can see other people that you're working with, and you can go look at their profiles. Discover documents from people around you. So this is going to be, again, automatically security trimmed, just like everything in SharePoint, right? And you're going to see popular files that you already have access to these. You're not going to click one of these and get access denied. So you already at least can read these files, and it's showing you things that people that you're working with, people around you on your team, people that you email a lot, that you collaborate with a lot. That makes them more relevant for them to show here. It's all magic and math happening on the search engine to decide what to show you here. Okay, so Lydia is actually my manager in here. This character, Alex here, his manager. So I can see that she's worked on something. And here's my little pretty org chart. And the org chart, again, it kind of came out. It looked kind of nice when it came out in SharePoint 2010. And then it's evolved, and so now it looks like this. And it doesn't look that different, but this is where you can go click on different people and see their profiles. All right. So me, my documents, people that I work with, and discover documents from people around you. And so I can click on that and I can see, ooh, look, so Laura, discover documents for people around you. You only see documents you have access to. And again, it's just, all the tiles, right? Yes, Maroon, it is unclear to them what this is. That is absolutely right. So even though, they might stumble upon Delve and it says at the top of the page what Delve is, I guess they're not reading it and they're immediately seeing a bunch of their own files and freaking out. You guys let me know if you have found the same thing, but that's kind of the consensus of what people have told me. It says it in very big letters at the very top of the page. I'm not sure what else Microsoft can do to convey to them that those are just, that view is just catered to them. Yeah. So look at this nice little filter button. So look, so this is kind of, like I said, this is a set of search results. So just like with drilling down and doing the refiners, when you're looking at search results, I just narrowed this down just to show Word documents. And I can go quickly, oh, this is cool, I'm gonna go read this or whatever. And I can go tag this as a favorite, and then I'll put it in my favorites. Carolyn, you're so right. Just just in general, people don't read stuff. And I do that sometimes too. I'll just read like the first sentence of an email and not just take the time to read the whole thing. I do that every now and then too. So that's kind of we're all in a hurry. We're all just want to quickly like absorb information, and then, but people see Delve, they freak out, and then IT ends up turning Delve off because of that. So just, I guess, yeah, educate your end users and send them to watch this power hour to understand what Delve is. The next thing we're going to look at, you guys let me know if you have any questions. We're going to go look at My Analytics. Now, My Analytics is only, I believe it's only E5. If you guys, does anybody know that information? I know it's not in E1. I'm not sure if it's in E3, but I know this is E5. Yeah, My Analytics. Isn't this awesome? So if you're in E3 and you go look at Delve and you don't see My Analytics, then it doesn't exist in E3. But it does if you guys have an answer for me. I didn't look that up before I started doing this, but this is awesome. So they announced this at Ignite. It used to be called Delve Analytics, and they just renamed it to My Analytics. So it's showing you a little time range up here of what it's looking at. It says your time, and this is looking at your calendar, looking at how many meetings you have, how much time you spend on your emails. Of course, this is my fake account, right? Focus hours, after hours, and then it's got settings you can do. Isn't this awesome? My Analytics is a la carte in E3, E5, not E3. Okay, that's the answer. Your time settings determine your focus hours and after hours calculation. So that's where you can actually define what your hours are. And then this is people that you collaborate with, people that you send email back and forth with or collaborate with in other ways, or like send instant messages to. So this is telling me how much time I spend with these important people. These are people that I've flagged as being important. So I can go to top collaborators and I can actually say, Joanna, I need to consider her an important person. So I put a star next to her name, and then you can see she shows over here under important. And then I can see, ooh, this is like a little chart. This is my VIP list. So it tells me how much time I spend collaborating with each of these people. All right, and then you and my manager. So apparently I have not spent that much time collaborating with my manager, and I need to maybe focus on that. But she's neglecting me. It's okay. She's busy. It's all right. It'll be okay. All right, got my manager here, and then we don't have enough data to tell your story. Of course, this is a fake account, like I said. Meetings. Ooh, this is so fun. Okay, meeting hours. How many hours am I spending in meetings? 7.2 hours is the company average, and other people are scheduling my hours. Now this is in a time range, so this is in a week, it looks like. So that's how many hours in a week. And this is telling me multitasking in meetings. Isn't that fun? So a lot of the meetings that we go to, they're in Skype for Business, they're remote meetings, they're not all going to be physical meetings in person. So if you're in Skype for Business and you're doing other stuff, it's keeping track of that. Isn't that scary? Or actually, it's pretty cool. So I multitask in meetings a lot. Well, not if I'm the one talking, but yeah. After hours meetings, I don't tend to have any of those, and recurring and longer meetings. Okay. And then meeting hours, it's going to tell me a little bit more information. This is a recurring meeting, by the way, the one with the little symbol next to it. And then more details about, let's see, meeting name, chat about team additions. Oh yeah, so this is the names of the meetings. All right. Yeah, he said, would this be awesome for periodic performance review purposes? See, boss, everyone keeps taking up all my time. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it says it all right here, because we're in Outlook all day, and this is in Outlook too. I'll show you that as well. Ooh, email habits. It tells me if other people are reading my emails. Interesting. How much time I spend. All the emails that are read by me, that are sent to me, are read, but I like the fact that it tells me when I send an email if other people, the percent of people that are reading it. It's pretty interesting. And then my focus hours, focus habits, 2 hours without meetings count as focus hours. Oh, that's nice. Focus hours is me just like crunching along, working on my projects for my customers as opposed to like on the phone with my customers. That makes sense. And then I might actually pull up my own personal one in here too in a minute and see what it looks like. If that's, I don't make sure I don't have any like private information shown or anything. And then after hours, I had one day this week with after hours activity, and that's the end of that. So Delve Analytics, that's pretty awesome. And you will also have in Outlook, if you are on a Office 365 plan that has analytics, has My Analytics, you are going to have a My Analytics little panel in Outlook. So let me see if I can, I don't know if I want to look at show my inbox. Let me see. I'm just pondering looking at my personal one, and I just need to make sure I'm going to show you it without showing any actual information. I haven't like looked through my emails to make sure there's not something top secret in there. Let me see. Okay, so in Outlook, you're going to get this little, see, I'll just show you a little. So you're going to have this My Analytics at the top of Outlook, and it pulls a little panel up down the side. So it's looking at a specific email that I selected, and it's telling me my response time for that particular email. And then I've got, let's see. Basically, each email that you select, it's telling you, so that we've been emailing each other about the user group meeting. So it's telling me my response time in this email thread, basically, and whether we should have a meeting about this. See, I'm not showing you my whole inbox. Nice, huh? Okay, so let's go over to, I'll see if I can get Delve to pull up with my own. You also might have noticed that you see all these little goals here. You can edit each one of these goals. So I can have edit goal. See, I can just say how many focus hours do I want to have during the week, and I want to have at least 10. So that's what the default is, but you can go edit. My goal for after hours meetings would be 0. Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to have after hours meetings. And then I can have a goal for meeting hours. Now it would be nice if when the secretary is trying to, as if I have a secretary, when the secretary is trying to schedule a meeting, for it to tell her that I'm over my meeting hours. So here is my own one, my own. See, I've got some people in my organization or people that I've been emailing either way. And then I've got 9 hours of meetings this week. This is how many hours I've spent on, so this is my own personal stuff here. And then people that I've been emailing, it's my daughter. I'm not sure why I've been emailing her for 4 hours. That doesn't make much sense. Corey, Todd, and Shane. And I don't have a manager in here. And it looks like I need to get back in touch with Shane. We haven't talked in a couple of days. So, yeah. All right, my old boss there. Okay. What do you guys think? This is pretty cool. Imagine Delve shows you have spent more than 20 hours a week in meetings, and then you're asked why things are not getting done. Yes, you're right, Fausto. That is so true. So that is a very good indication. And Microsoft's, I believe that they were talking at Ignite about, being able to make, so you can set your goals, it can change some of this, but maybe there's going to be ability, or there is an ability somewhere that I don't see readily available, to just be able to take action on some of this stuff. And I mean, to me, the action that you would take would be to go cancel some of those meetings, right? So, yeah. All right, so that's my analytics. And then favorites is, I have my favorite boards. These are the boards that I've been, basically, remember I was tagging naming boards a minute ago. And so these are going to be my favorite boards. So when I click on a board, it's going to show me all the things that I've added to this board. I can send somebody a link to this board. That's pretty interesting. Let's go back to favorites. And I can just see all the documents. Those are the ones that I flagged with this little bookmark to say that they're my favorite documents. And then this one is going to be, let's see, does this have any boards? No, I'll say Contoso and Bing. And let's go add a couple. Let's see, this one can be Litware. And that way when I go to my favorite boards and I go to Litware, now I can see all the ones that are there, and I can send a link to someone to tell them about this board. That's pretty interesting. And it's going to open up Outlook, so I don't want to do that. All right, so we've gone over, Fausto says someone was talking about virtual assistants and Cortana. He said he was at the Tech Summit in DC and heard that flows are basically a virtual assistant. Well, bots are really kind of where it's going for virtual assistant. Flows, yeah, I mean, flows are just workflows, so you still have to define them. But yeah, that's a way, just like with If This Then That and Zapier and other, it's just a way to automate some of the common things that you do. As far as a virtual assistant, like to me, that app called Find Time is the best one that's a virtual assistant. Find Time is it's just part of the Office store, and it's just a little, basically puts a little plug-in, a little button at the top of Outlook. And so you and somebody decide you need to have a meeting, you just send a Find Time, which integrates with your Skype for Business, and it lets you propose like 3 or 4, however many slots, meeting slots that you want to have the meeting, and then they just go click on the ones, where they're available. And then you don't have to have an assistant, a secretary, to go through the process of emailing back and forth to figure out, are you available in this time slot? Are you available Wednesday? Are you available Tuesday and Thursday? And that whole back and forth that's so exhausting. So to me, I love Find Time as far as just something that replaces having a virtual assistant. Now Teams, I saw Erica Telly. Speaking of bots, she wrote about this. I think she blogged about it today. New bots available in Microsoft Teams. Now we did a whole, I'll put the link in here. We did a whole power hour about Microsoft Teams, but apparently they've added a whole bunch of bots. Now bots are going to be more like a virtual assistant, to where it's like you're chatting with a person and they're intelligent and they can respond to you and do things for you. So that looks really cool. I'm going to have to go check those bots out. We'll have to do a whole power hour on bots. Speaking of power hour topics, you guys feel free to go to the ideas channel in here and type out what your ideas are for other power hours. So if you want to learn about bots, we can go delve into those. Haha, no pun intended, delve. All right, so you guys are hilarious. Oh yeah, disappointed that E3 doesn't have My Analytics. Yeah, that's a cool little functionality there, isn't it? Okay, so some other things. Let's go ahead and just go to Mail here. And I want to look at a couple of other settings that have to do with people. Now notice that you can have Skype for Business as a little panel over here. So this is the chat between this character, Alex, me, whatever, and his boss. So hey boss. So anyway, earlier I had logged in as her in a different browser, and I was like in 2 different browsers chatting back and forth because I was trying to like get My Analytics to have stuff in it. Apparently either it doesn't put Skype conversations in My Analytics, or it takes a little longer for that to for the analytics to do the math and add the Skype conversation to My Analytics. So that's a great question I'm asking myself, is if Skype conversations count as that. You would think they would. So let me close out Skype. And so now I'm in his email box, and it's showing me a bunch of, I didn't want to see like Skype choices here. It's logging, I told it to log me out, but instead of just logging me out of Skype for Business, it completely closed me out of Office 365. That's nice. All right, so now again, I'm logged in as Alex. Okay, this is what I was looking for right here. So I've got, I can quickly sign into IM, and it looked like it did it for me. I can go click About Me, and what I want to go to is the Office 365 settings. So I keep clicking. So instead of clicking About Me, this is one of the things I wanted to point out here in Power Hour, is this View Account thing. View Accounts is another one of those settings, places where end users can do their own settings. And some of this, we'll talk about, we'll go into the admin portion of this as well. And some of this can be controlled from within admins. So if I go to personal info here, I wonder what's going to happen if I click change photo. Ooh, see, look, it's got like a completely different interface here. Isn't that funny? So it looks like maybe there are two different places that you have to go in order to change your photo. There we go. Let's see. So you could have two different photos. That's so funny. Maybe I just discovered a bug. Stacy says, does an admin have access to other users' My Analytics? That is a great question. You would think that that would be something that people would want to see. I'm not sure off the top of my head where that would be, because I know that, it showed My Manager, but I'd have to go log into the manager to see if it shows like my subordinates. So I'm not positive. Okay, so look at that. So I changed my profile over in the About Me page, which took me to that like old school profile editor, and that changed my photo in some places, but then I changed it to a different photo in here under personal info, and then that changed my photo in the rest of the places. So I'm gonna say hashtag O365 bug. Okay, so then it's even telling me that some details are provided by IT, which are the ones that are coming from the user profile service. So it's letting me know that. All right, so now I've got, let's see what else can end users do. They can just see the subscriptions. They can't necessarily do anything with it. This is where end users can go to change their password. So this is good for you to know as somebody that's doing support, helping people out. You can tell them to go click on their name in the top right and go to View Accounts, and then go to the Security and Privacy, and that's where they can change their password. Oh, Maroon says one is an Active Directory, the other is an Exchange. Well, you wouldn't think you would need to have two. So yeah, that seems like that's something that would need to be fixed, right? Okay, so I've got app permissions. That seems a little, some apps use user data, customize the experience. So this is when I've started using, if I started using something like, maybe if I added Find Time as an app, it would say like Find Time needs permissions to your calendar. So you can see that I've been using this third-party product Harmony Collage, which I'm in the middle of writing a blog post about. And so it's just like, kind of when you go to Facebook or LinkedIn and you're authenticating to something else, like using your LinkedIn profile or something, and it says, LinkedIn prompts you to log in. It says, are you sure you want to authenticate with LinkedIn? Is that okay? Allow this app to authenticate. So that's what this is. This is where you're allowing other apps to use the authentication there. Install status, that's just desktop applications. Now here's the fun part. So the settings part is fun because end users could potentially change their theme. And this is something that you can control from the admin perspective. Oh, look at the robots. That's so cute. You can control what your start page is. This is huge. I'd like to start with SharePoint every day, right? Wouldn't you? So this means that when you go to, I think it's like portal.office.com, and that you just start from there, and that's your like your default home page. It's going to say, okay, SharePoint's your starting page, and it's going to take you to like when you go to the waffle menu and click on SharePoint, where, you know, the very first thing that I started with at the beginning of the demo, that's where it's going to start. And so that's where it's going to take you. So let me save that. So you save each one of these individually, apparently. Save that. Notifications. Ooh, so it can tell you. So those are these notifications up at the top right here. So that's where you're saying which notifications you want to have up there or not. Interesting. And then I don't want to install software, language and time zone. My current time zone is actually Central Time. And time format. All right, so now I've edited some of my settings. I'll go back to my account. And now let's go look at, from an admin perspective, at some of these settings. I'm going to open this site up in a different browser, logged in as an admin. You can do in private browsing in Firefox too, same shortcut. Control-Shift-P. Sorry for all the typing. Are you guys learning a lot in here? Is this any of this new, or is this stuff that you're going to try out? Maybe you'll be more interested in Delve and kind of, you know, what's the good case use for, you know, telling users, now this is when you're going to use Delve. Maybe it's something that, you know, go look at it every morning, go set Delve to be your homepage instead of SharePoint, and, you know, stuff like that. And that way they can just quickly see what's going on in the organization, what people are working on. All right, I'm going to go to admin here. There's my admin center. I'm logged in as the admin, and I've got admin centers, and I'll go to SharePoint. No, wait. Yeah. SharePoint's not going to be where I can control the stuff with the colors and stuff, like the user that can add the robots and stuff to the top of their thing. Let's see. Here we go. Settings, organization profile. Manage custom themes for your organization. So this is where your theme, you can do this, and so this is the setting I was referring to right here. Prevent users from overriding custom theming with their own theme. So the robots thing I just showed you a minute ago with the end user setting their theme to the robots, that's what this controls. So I can define here what I want my logo image to be. I'm just going to pick some random, oh, that's, yeah, whatever. I've got one that's got like a little, there we go. It's got to be a certain shape, see? And I created that shape just so it would fit up here, see that? And then URL for a clickable logo, that's where you could say, if you want them to click on it, it always takes them, say, to SharePoint. 811.907.sharepoint.com. So if they click on the URL, it'll always just take them back to the SharePoint homepage. I can select the background image. That's that big background image that goes like across the page. So maybe it's like that one. Yeah, there we go. And prevent users from doing blah, blah, blah. Accent color, I can change it to something crazy like that. Oh, look how weird that background image is. That is not what I wanted. So the background image is just repeating this image across the page, and I'm not, yeah, no. Notice that it's changing them live as I do it. So I could have some sort of, you know, thing with my pretty company colors and stuff like that, but then I'd want to be able to read these words through it. So I'd have to probably just create an image that looks kind of nice, that people would still be able to read the text when the image is, you know, is back there. And I can define what I want all my text and icons to look like. See, I just made them all hot pink, and etc. Okay, so app launcher icon, that's this thing, I think. Oh yeah, see, I changed it to pink, and that changes the little tiles here in the little menu. See, I changed it to white. All right, and save. Okay, so now I've created a completely custom branded Office 365, not just branded SharePoint, but everywhere that the end users are in Office 365, this is what they're going to see. So let's go back and log in as that other user. Let's see. The one with the crazy robots. And I'm going to start over here and go to SharePoint. Where did SharePoint go? Am I blind? Yeah, there it is. Oh, look, see, as soon as I refresh the page, not only does it have that image over here that I fixed, it's got SharePoint. Let's see if it's going to refresh and if that image propagated down to be part of the bar up here. No, it doesn't look like it's showing there yet. But I do have that in my real IW Mentor tenant. I do have my IW Mentor icon, and it does show across all the different pages. And it definitely did take away this user's custom robots that they had as their theme. So when I locked it down so that end users can't change their color theme, see, it says choose your favorite theme, and then all they can choose from now is those two that I had over in the admin settings, right? Your theme is set by your organization, but you can apply the high contrast theme if needed. So that's pretty much the only option they're going to get. All right, so let's go back over to, pretty cool, right? Go back over to admin and let's see, Office Admin Center. And I can do custom tiles. Custom tiles are these things over here. So I can create my own custom tile, add a custom tile. I'm going to call it so whatever you want the URL to be to, you know, think about if your company has like your own proprietary apps or you know, application URLs that the end users need to go to, like if they go to Salesforce or PeopleSoft or something like that all the time, and you want Office 365 to be the one central place they can be and start in every day. But the ability to add the custom tiles like gives them a quick way to go flip over to those apps that they need to use. So I can give it a description, go to our homepage. It's not really a good example though, because why would you want to create a link to your own company's homepage for end users? That's not, I don't think people are going to be doing that very often. Anyway, then you'd have to have an image URL. So let me just, I wonder if I could just grab that one. Copy image location for that one up there. Oh, that's good. No, it doesn't. That's not going to work. Oh, wow. So you actually have to have a URL for the image that you want it to show there. So it'd probably be a situation where you'd want to, wow, that's very long. You want to type in, upload something that's nice and pretty and square looking that you want to represent that particular app, whatever it is. So that's how you can do your custom tiles. Customized help desk contact info. So you guys are probably kind of like, well, what does this have to do with Delve? Well, the idea behind kind of where I started in this demo was to go over Delve and About Me and the About Me settings basically. And the About Me settings took me to setting my custom colors, and then setting the custom colors has taken me to how can organizations control the custom colors, right? Because I know that's what you guys are thinking, because a lot of you guys are in the same role that I'm in. You're a SharePoint admin, or you're the SharePoint person or the Office 365 person in your company, and you want to kind of know that some of this stuff exists and where you can do it. Provide customized help desk contact info. Yes, that's very cool. I'll turn that on. I'm just writing that here. Sure. Give us a call, give us an email. And look at this. So you could think about a SharePoint site. You can have a SharePoint site that's your help desk, right? Have you guys done this before? You have like service desk tickets where people can, put in tickets about just technical things or any kind of tech support, you can just create a SharePoint site and use, I don't know, an issues list. You can make your own custom business solution that is your company help desk, and you could just put the URL right here. So that will point people to that custom URL. So I'll go ahead and save that. I think I saved it. Yeah, okay. So I save that, and then Office 365 has been built, blah, blah, blah. Data location. So it's telling me where my services are hosted in SharePoint, just kind of for my information. All right, when an end user needs help now, what's going to happen since I did that? Okay, let me go back to, I'm just going to go to mail, just kind of get everything refreshed. Ooh, it's still showing robot. Oh, the robots went away. Okay, so the robots went away, and it's showing my, my company colors here. And then how am I going to go get help? Ooh, look at this. Tell us what you want to do. That doesn't have, that's not the thing that I thought it was going to be. Hold on. No, that's just like, no, this is just like Outlook stuff. This isn't app settings. No. See, it's supposed to have like this thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. So we'll have to see where that help thing actually shows up. Let me go to just portal.office.com. As much as I can plan for Power Hour and plan all the things that I'm going to demo, some things I just, I start going down this rabbit hole and start finding things. Okay. How is someone going to actually go to those help settings? Maybe that hasn't propagated down, so I'm not sure. I would think that it would show here though. Right? Do any of you know about that? All right. Now, one more thing that I'm going to show you, I have 7 minutes left, is another admin thing that we touched upon. And if you have a book called the SharePoint 2010 Administrator's Companion that Shane and Todd wrote, I actually wrote the chapter on the user profile stuff. So I've been doing, my background as an admin, so I have a pretty intimate knowledge of the user profile stuff. So when I go here though, I'm kind of wondering what's going to have changed since last time I looked at it though. I'm not necessarily in here all day like I used to be a long time ago. Okay, I go to the SharePoint Admin Center and go to User Profiles, and this is where, earlier when we were on the About Me page and we talked about all the different user profile properties and where that information comes from, this is where that is controlled. So this doesn't look any different than it did when it came out in SharePoint 2007. Probably, I don't remember what it looked like in 2003. That was a long time ago, but so manage user properties. And user properties, those are all the fields. Those are all the columns, things that people, their phone number, their name, all that stuff. So here are all the user properties. There are a lot of them. And this is where you can control, you could even have custom properties. So if you have a certain, maybe a custom AD property with, I don't know, like company division or something just custom that people use in your company that wasn't already an AD field, like department and office or AD fields, then you could have, you could add that and you could actually go map it to SharePoint from here. Let's go look at some of the ones that are already mapped. So I'll go find like manager here. Well, yeah, department, that's a common one. I'll just go edit that one. Manager is a person field. So department. This is a term set. This is so remember earlier I was mentioning managed metadata. Remember when I was editing some of my skills and projects and things like that, and I mentioned that was tied into managed metadata? Well, that is where this is tied in. So this is a term set that is coming from your managed metadata that's called department. And so when people fill in the department field, or whatever values are in the department field, are getting put in this term set. So it's telling me here is where you can allow users to edit values for that or not. So right now, end users can't go into their SharePoint, into their profile and their About Me and edit their department. That's coming from AD. That's something that IT is set up, or HR, whoever's in charge of that. In O365, no adding sync for custom properties. Oh, okay, I'll go look at that. And then show in the profile properties section of the user's profile page, or show on the edit details page. So you notice that I didn't even see department when I was in there editing my profile. So you could show that if you wanted to, and you can show it so that it's displayed when people look at that person's profile. So that's what you could set up there. And I'll just go click OK. And I'll go new property. And I can give it a name, so I can make up a new field in here. But yeah, you're right. I don't think that there's a way to control like where that field, where the value's coming from as far as an AD sync. So yeah, that makes total sense. So I could create the field here, and I could have a new field that either IT sets up here and populates it here from within this user profile admin, or I could set up a new property and allow for end users to populate that themselves. But you're right, I can't just take something completely brand new and define and say that it's gonna, if it's coming from Active Directory, because now we have Azure Active Directory and it's a lot more complicated. It's in the cloud. All right. When I create these fields, I can, just like you might have seen with creating columns in SharePoint, you have just different types of columns you can have. So manager is a person field. It even tells you how many people are using that property. And this is this everyone setting means that everyone can see that value. All right, here's one. Let me show you an interesting one. When you go to your user profile, your user information list in your site collection, and you have user profile information in there. You have some basic stuff like, let's go to a SharePoint site and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is fun stuff. I could talk about user profile stuff all day. I should probably do a separate power. Yeah, you know what? I should probably do that. So what I was going to show you is like where this data goes in your site collection and the user information list, and how you can actually control some of that and which properties go into the user information list as well. Like some of them don't already, like, I don't know, city and zip code and stuff like that. But basically I just showed you how this is where the settings exist to be able to just define if users can edit these properties, and kind of where these properties show up when you're looking at people's profiles. Does that make sense? So I should probably just, you guys let me know if you're interested, put in the ideas section of the Slack channel, and let me know if that sounds intriguing, if you'd like me to dig a little deeper into this and show you like some of the extra settings in here, and show you how it applies in SharePoint in your site collections, and in your your current user filter web part, and kind of some of the other stuff you can do in here. And then we could have a whole hour about that. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Errol. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. All right, that was a fun one. It kind of went, kind of took a little tangent, but it was totally in the realm of what we were supposed to be looking at. Never know where these things are going to go. Okay, so a little recap. We basically went to Office 365, clicked the waffle menu, and went to Delve. And Delve shows you that by default, a lot of just popular and relevant files that you might want to read that are in SharePoint. Doesn't show list items, just files and libraries. And then and you can kind of tag those and categorize them. And then you can click About Me, and that's where you can edit your profile, and that's basically your SharePoint, profile information. And end users can edit things that IT has determined that they are allowed to edit, like the About Me and your skills and projects, and not like your manager and your department. And then end users can also click their name at the top right in Office 365, and not only go to About Me, which also takes you to Delve, it takes you to the same place, but you can go to view account, and then end users can go to view account, and that's where they can go set up further settings about themselves, like their time zone and their colors and things like that. So that we went into kind of what end users can do, like setting, you know, what their default page is and their colors and their profile stuff. And then we took that and went over to the admin portion and looked at how you can control some of that, how you can control the branding and control some of those user profile properties. And we started kind of scratching the surface on all the fun that is user profiles. And let's see, and then we kind of touched on some of the other fun pages in SharePoint, in Office 365, like the SharePoint homepage, and just the importance in general of just how much that search index is being used everywhere. It's like magic, and it's everywhere in SharePoint. By the way, I'm doing a webinar next week. Let me get the link to that pulled up. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that instead of Power Hour because it's, you know, it's a lot of prep time and all that. But I put the link in the chat window. I'll go ahead and put it out there again. It is Lightning Tools. I'm doing a presentation. Oops, let's see. A Microsoft Flow presentation for them. So let me copy that. Paste it in there. I'm putting it in the general channel. Oh yeah, I already put it in the general channel. Okay. Anyway, Lightning Tools, awesome product. I'll share my screen real quick to show you. There we go. This is my presentation I'm doing on the 16th. At basically, it's I think 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Central. I'm Central Time. So this is where you can go register to come see me in my presentation with Lightning Tools. I love Lightning Tools. I've known them for years. I've always loved their products. I noticed that they have a new one that is actually a modern SharePoint web part data viewer. So I noticed that they blogged about that the other day. So I'm super excited about that because remember when we did our demo in the Power Hour about the modern web parts and how you couldn't just put like a list or just a list of stuff from your site, just a SharePoint list or library. It didn't have that as a web part, so they actually have one, which is huge to me. I'll go ahead and flip this back. So, and going to speak at SharePoint Saturday Hawaii, which is March 31st. And then after that, I'm going to go speak at SP TechCon in Austin, and hopefully I will see some of you there. And that was a fun Power Hour. And thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. And I will see you again. I'm not going to have one next week. I'll just probably have one the week after that. And write down your ideas in the ideas channel for me. Thank you.